welcome back to the channel. Long time no voiceover, but sometimes you just gotta put your head down and do the hard work. And by hard work, I mean self-care. Obviously starting by detoxing all the product buildup throughout the week and protecting my color. But you guys, this is a big week. It's an exciting week. We have a new product from The Way. How freaking epic. Thank you to my friends at The Way for sponsoring this video. And you guys know I love my everything shower, and this is only adding like 5 minutes for healthier, shiny hair without having to go visit a salon. You guys always see me doing the same thing. I mean, you know the skincare, you know the vibes. Like, this is a new product and you will see how good my hair looks because I've been using this for about 2 weeks now in conjunction with all of their best sellers and my favorites, which by the way, make great holiday gifts. The hair gloss is made with hyaluronic acid and rice water, so it's going to provide immediate shine, help treat damage, and enhance your color vibrancy. It's the perfect addition, so make sure to go to theway.com/LaurenElizabeth and you can get 15% off your entire order. That's theway, OUAI.com/LaurenElizabeth. I'm gonna put the videos I made for my gift guide right here because I worked really hard on them and I'd like you to see, since Instagram stories only last 24 hours. Aren't they cute? Thank you so much for watching. Oh, well, I guess you're doing it on the Blackstone, so it doesn't matter. Usually they're easier for grilling. What else?
I got arugula, Brussels sprouts.
Oh my god, you got Brussels sprouts?
Oh, your favorite? For a blue cheese crust on steak. Money.
Gross. How are we gonna cook this? We're both about to pass out.
2 Kados.
Avocados. That's a lot of green. It looks really green on camera.
I got the steak blend.
Yeah, their stuff is
fire.
So good. We booked our New Year's trip, and it's something, it's like when you like always talk about with your boyfriend or partner, like, oh, like let's do like a romantic getaway, and then just like life gets in the way and you never end up doing it. We were like, okay, let's not mess up New Year's Eve. Last year for New Year's Eve, we just went to my best friend's house, like all the couples, and we just played games, and it was like so low-key and chill. I was also low-key pregnant and didn't know. And this year we haven't really like made a plan, like the girls, and we were like, why don't we just do the same thing as last year? And as much as I love that, because I'm obsessed with my friends, I was like, you know what, we like never do the romantic getaway situation. So we booked it. It's just like so nice when you have like things on the calendar that are like kind of like romantic quality time, date night things. You're making fun of me. So looking forward to that, but tomorrow that means I don't know what we're doing. But we have a babysitter.
What's up, Olive?
So, oh no, the camera's dying too. We're getting interrupted, the camera's dying. You don't sound good.
I don't sound good?
Yeah, you sound stuffy.
I just took a steam shower.
BRB. I become more and more of a computer whiz every single day. I think in the new year I'm gonna have to hire some help, but for right now I'm figuring everything out, which is good. The problem is that when I do this is like I will end up sitting here disgusting for the next like few hours because I just like get so like dialed in, and that's one of my bad habits because I should like get ready for the day every day. But I mean, this is like literally my office right now. It's nothing fabulous, so maybe one day. Haven't filmed in a few days because I just wasn't feeling it. I think I like burnt myself out a little bit. I'm sitting here with the girl, I'm bouncing her little Dijon thing with my feet right now. This was our first day, like official day. I know I've talked about it a lot, but it was our first day that Matt went to work full time. Even when he is gonna be working from home now, it's not like he can really help that much because it's like he's working. So I know a lot of like our friends that both work from home, put their kids in daycare or like have a nanny or something like that. It's just before the holidays now, and so it would be hard to even find help slash just like stressful for everyone involved, I feel like. Luckily, my job is very flexible, but I think with especially like launching the home decor and just like the amount of kind of tedious things that content takes to create and like put out, in like a sense of like editing and setting up the camera and just like running around and stuff like that, it'd be nice to have a little bit of help probably a couple times a week, just to kind of have those like larger lift days, have an extra hand. Anyway, but honestly today went great. I'm a little behind on just like a couple things, but that's my own fault. Well, I guess I was gonna say nothing to do with the baby, but I guess like my own fault because like I prioritized mom stuff. I don't know. Olive was such a good girl today. I've been by myself with her all day. Honestly, it's been really nice. So today was a first, but it was a really good one. I also asked you guys to submit some questions, a little chitty chat in. So let's jump into it. How did you balance mental health and meds when pregnant? Any panic attack? Usually I would have something for a panic attack when I was not pregnant, like a sedative, I guess. And obviously I couldn't take that when I was pregnant. So I did have a few anxiety slash panic attacks here and there, but I just knew that I couldn't take that. I mean, if it was like an emergency, my OB assured me that like one time would be like okay. I always knew that like it was never like that. I just learned to really manage my mental health with therapy and my psychiatrist, and like just switching all my meds and stuff like that. And you just like unfortunately have to be like really patient. But the great thing that came out of it is that I got my mental health and my meds so under control those first few months and onwards in the pregnancy that I had those like really hard 2 weeks postpartum, and any other like anxiety and stuff that's come up, it's just I feel very in control of my mental health in a way that like it's not perfect. And like I always joke, I'm like, oh my god, you're not gonna believe it, I'm cured, I'm no longer mentally ill. But it's just like, I don't know, I feel like I have the tools and I'm on the medication that's right for me, and I was lucky enough to like get all that done before postpartum. Another question someone asked is like, having a baby has it increased your anxiety? And honestly, if anything, it's decreased it. I think just because having her makes me have to be so present and so focused on something other than myself, whereas like a lot of anxiety comes from the like overthinking in my own head and like what if and future tripping and just kind of like going down a rabbit hole in here. And I almost like I don't really have the time to kind of worry about that stuff inside of my own head. It doesn't mean I don't have any anxiety, it just means that like my advice is always like, get out of yourself and like into something else, like help others, because it just is like a distraction, but it like fills you up in a different way. And so I feel like that's kind of like what being a mom is like for me. It's like I still get to prioritize myself and take care of myself, but I also get to put myself into something way more important than me. Someone said, was Olive on formula from the start, considering switching to formula from pumping? I don't know how much I've talked about this on YouTube. Honestly, I just can't even keep track where I say what, but I only breastfed for 6 weeks and I'm honestly so glad. I think that's also why I've had such a easier time postpartum with my mental health than it could have been, because I'm not gonna say I had an easy time. No new mom is having an easy time unless they're like lying or a billionaire, I guess. I don't know. But wait, I want to like go on this tangent really quick. It's like this theory that I'm trying to come up with, or like I guess a way of explaining something. So I'll talk about breastfeeding in 2 seconds, but I've been stuck on this. The verbiage and the way in which people talk about motherhood or becoming a mom it's so hard. It's so hard. Like everyone's always saying it's so hard. And I feel like when you consume that online and you read that, it has this like negative feeling attached to it. Like feels like someone's saying it sucks. It's the worst. There's like, it's so hard. And when people talk about like building their own company or being a professional athlete, it's not like, oh my god, it's so hard. It's like, I work hard and like I'm amazing. Like I don't know if this makes sense. I'm still working through this, but have you ever noticed that the way that people talk about hard things doesn't feel as shitty as when they talk about how hard parenting is? And I don't know if it's because like finally people are just admitting that being a parent is hard, so everyone's really like making a point to tell you how hard it is. But I just keep thinking that like, because I'm constantly kind of thinking of, oh, how do I want to like share this with others? And I just keep thinking like, I don't want to say it's not hard, because like, of course it's hard, but it's not hard in which the way that like it was pitched to me. I wouldn't pitch it to someone else like, oh my God, it's so hard, because it sounds like the next sentence out of your mouth is about to be like, don't do it. And I don't feel that way at all. And like, I don't feel that it sucks. I love it, and I don't think that it's hard in this way where it's like this like shitty thing that you have to like get through it. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't think it sucks. Yes, it's challenging and it's new and you have to learn and you have to grow. Why can't we just like say it? It's hard in a more like positive way, the same way we glamorize, not glamorize, but like the same way we talk about other things that are more like cool, societally acceptable as success. Tangent over. It made it a lot easier for me to switch because I think there's two main things. One, your like mental health, because you are literally a milk machine. It is a full-time job. I remember exclusively breastfeeding and obviously having nowhere to go, nothing to do. Matt was home and being like, how in the world is this supposed to work when like we are doing life again? Like I was just like, that's crazy. Like I'm breastfeeding like what felt like every 5 seconds for whatever. It takes a toll on your mental health for like just literally the fact that it's a full-time job and it's like isolating, and it's also like your hormones, and it gave me anxiety. So it's like that whole sector. And then the other one that is really important, the second part of it, is that your partner can't help you. You're basically healing and recovering from like the craziest thing your body is really gonna go through, that it's supposed to go through, because I'm sure, you know, there's other traumatic injuries, but like this is a natural thing. You're like recovering from that. It takes literally like a year to be fully healed, according to my pelvic floor physical therapist. You're the only one that can feed your baby at any hour of the day and the night, and you're exhausted and your body's exhausted. And just being able to pump and put breast milk in a bottle and have your partner even just give a bottle is game changer. When I made the switch to formula, and it wasn't on me, only me all the time. It was like a shared responsibility, which having a child is. It was just a game changer. And as well, I wasn't really producing that much. I didn't have a back stock. I was constantly playing catch up. I wasn't able to like go out and leave a bottle at home type of thing. Part of me genuinely wishes that I could have gone longer and like had something to be like, wear more as a badge of honor. But like as other moms would say, like any amount of time breastfeeding, or not even breastfeeding, just literally feeding your baby whatever it is, and they're healthy and they're happy, like that's the badge of honor in and of itself. I think I went into the experience knowing that I was going to do whatever worked for me, even if that meant not breastfeeding, but I was gonna just give it a try to see, because you don't know until you try. But I was prepared for any outcome. It wasn't as hard of a decision because I went into it very firmly knowing that if I didn't want to do it, I was not going to do it, and I was not going to feel bad about it. Because that's just mom shaming, and that's not nice. How was it to have a baby so early in the relationship? Asking respectfully, of course. That is very nice. I feel like it was hard in hindsighted moment. It wasn't like in the moment we were, oh my God, we're so fresh in this new relationship and let's talk about that whilst we're having this crazy realization about becoming parents. It was more so like we would look back and be like, I mean, it's crazy that like we had really only been dating for that long. Like it just didn't feel like that in the moment, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's more so like when you take a step back and you look at the big picture, it's like, whoa, that's literally insane. When you find out and it's happening, like you're just in it, and there's no point in really like harping on time and timeline and what could have, should have, or what you wanted, what you don't. Like it's just happening. We're really, really lucky. And I think also just focusing on not on like other people's opinions, because I think also like I'm a very empathetic person, and like I just told myself, I mean, I'm way less hormonal now too, so it's much easier for me, but I just tell myself like I would probably be being judgy behind someone's back too. Like just truthfully, like as a human, I would be nosy and curious and like, oh my God, they've only been dating for that amount of time. Like like, for sure. Like, yeah, because that's called gossiping. And I get it. Like, I get it. I'm not a perfect person. So I would probably be like, oh my God, what's the tea? You know, I get it. And I never really took it personally, and I didn't focus on that. Crazier things have happened. Like, we're really lucky that we love each other, and we're really supportive of each other, and we're gonna be great parents. So like, why am I gonna get all bent up out of shape about how long we've been dating? The only reason I would is because of what other people thought, because I was supposed to do it a certain way, especially being from the Midwest and like everyone doing kind of like the same thing of dating, engaged, moving in together, getting married, having kids. I was more so just like, damn, I didn't do that. My whole thing, my whole life is that I want to be like everyone else. So I guess I was a little bummed in that sense that I wasn't able to be like perfect like everyone else, but it had nothing to do with me and Matt's relationship at all. It had everything to do with like what we were supposed to do. You just remind yourself of those stories of like, you know, my parents only knew each other for 6 weeks. My parents got married after 6 months. Like, we could be those parents, and we will be those parents, and it's not for everyone, of course. That's why not everyone does it, but we're just really, really lucky. The only way that I know how to like publicly explain it is just by saying we're lucky, and it's not normal. It's not the rule, it's the exception. Someone said, how do I deal with my current boyfriend having slept with a lot of people in the past? You just have to tell yourself the past is the past. Unless it's like 25,000 people, 2,500 people, that's probably more accurate of something that's insane. You have to just tell yourself the past is the past, and as long as he's faithful and he's a good guy, you have a good relationship, that like, that doesn't matter. We don't judge. Like, you did what you did, now you're here, and you just have to not think about it because it has nothing to do with you. He didn't know you, you guys weren't together. Things you wish you did before becoming a mama. 2 things do come to mind that are kind of more like general. The first one is I wish that I wouldn't have let my anxiety control my life so much. I wish that I was better at traveling, but ultimately, like, I'm still not very good at it. I'm just getting better, and I think being a mom is actually making me better. So it's not like I could have totally really fixed that. And it's not like I beat myself up about it, basically. But there is one trip that I think of that I'm like, wow, I wish I really could have enjoyed that more. That was awesome. And I was not nearly present for enough of it that I should have been. And it was because of my anxieties. So like that, I wish I did before better. Before becoming a mama fully, I do wish that I wish I was more okay during my pregnancy. And I think that's like being really, really hard on myself, because I did do a great job of, you know, taking care of myself and the baby as a pregnant person. More so just like, you know, like I think getting more fresh air and like walking more, just being like more positive and happy. I wish I would have done that a little bit more instead of just hating being pregnant so much. But like ultimately it is what it is, and I hated being pregnant, and I feel way more prepared to do it again, and I feel more hopeful that I'll be like way more confident doing it another time. Someone said, best advice for a new mom / business owner: let people help you and get help where you can. I knew that I was gonna have to figure out what that meant for me, and I'm still figuring it out, as you guys know. But I think so many people say like, let people help you. It takes a village. Like, let people help you. Ask for help. Ask for help. So really like drilling that into your mind, it really works, and it really does help you ask for help. If people weren't constantly telling me that, I probably wouldn't have been so comfortable and so open to having more help. But since everyone's so adamant about helping or telling you to get help or ask for help or let me help, it makes asking for help a lot more comfortable, especially for someone who like doesn't normally like to ask for help. I'm gonna take a quick break because the girl's waking up.